You want success. Not the kind you post about. Not the kind you pretend to have. I'm talking about the kind that changes you. The kind that burns in your chest until you become the person you were meant to be. So listen closely, because these aren't just rules. They're weapons. And if you use them right, they'll make you unstoppable. You want success. Real success. The kind that shakes your soul and transforms your life. Not the filtered, picture perfect version you see online. I'm talking about the kind that demands everything from you. Your patience, your resilience, your courage. The kind that burns, molds, and refines you until there's no trace of the old you left. The kind that scares you because deep down, you know it's real. You know it's possible. But to reach that level, to live in that fire, you must learn to own it. Own your power, own your story, own your fire. That's the first rule, and it's the foundation of everything that follows. We live in a world that constantly tells you to play small, to be polite, to fit in, to quiet your voice so others can feel comfortable in your presence. You've heard it before. Don't be so loud. Don't be too ambitious. Don't dream that big. But here's the truth. Your power intimidates people who haven't yet discovered their own. And that's not your problem. You weren't born to shrink. You were born to expand, to take up space, to fill rooms with your energy, your purpose, your light. Every time you apologize for your fire, you teach yourself that it's something to be hidden. Stop doing that. Stop dimming what was designed to shine. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs the full, unfiltered version of you. There's a moment in everyone's life when they have to decide, am I going to live for approval? Or am I going to live for purpose? You can't have both. Approval will ask you to compromise your authenticity. Purpose will demand you stand tall in your truth, even when it makes others uncomfortable. The choice is hard, but it's also freeing. When you stop waiting for permission to be great, you start creating from a place of power. You begin to move differently, talk differently, dream differently. You start walking into rooms like you belong there, because you do. Your fire isn't arrogance. It's awareness. It's knowing who you are and refusing to pretend you don't. Owning your fire means embracing every part of your journey, the wins and the wounds. It means taking pride in the battles that built you, not just the moments that broke you. Every scar, every setback, every failure is proof that you were brave enough to try. The world celebrates the results, but forgets the resilience. You didn't come this far to be timid about your story. You came this far to tell it, to live it, to use it. Because somewhere out there, someone is waiting to see a reflection of themselves in your courage. Your fire gives others permission to find theirs. That's the ripple effect of authenticity. It doesn't just elevate you, it ignites the world around you. But owning your fire also means mastering it. Power without discipline is chaos. Passion without direction burns out fast. It's not enough to have energy. You must know where to channel it. The greatest leaders, the ones who truly change the game, are not just passionate, they're arts-focused. They know when to roar and when to listen. They know that silence can be just as powerful as sound. So don't just let your fire burn aimlessly. shape it, guide it. Let it drive your purpose, not your pride. Because when your fire is aligned with your mission, it stops being just energy. It becomes destiny. And yes, there will be days when that fire flickers. When life hits hard and you start to doubt your strength. You'll question if it's even worth it. But that's exactly when you need to remember why you started. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep your flame alive. Protect it from negativity, from fear, from the noise that tells you to give up. Guard it with everything you have, because it's sacred. Your fire is what makes you unstoppable. It's the reason you'll rise again, every single time you fall. So stop asking for permission to be powerful. Stop seeking validation for your vision. Your fire is not too much. It's exactly enough. Own it. Live it. And let it light the path for others to follow. Because when you own your fire, you don't just change your life. You ignite a revolution. Discomfort. Most people run from it. They treat it like the enemy. They numb it, avoid it, distract themselves from it. But here's the truth no one wants to hear. Discomfort is not your enemy. It's your invitation. It's the universe's way of asking, Ish, how bad do you really want this? Every dream, every transformation, every breakthrough you've ever imagined sits just beyond the edge of your comfort zone. And yet, so many people stay right where it's safe, because safe feels familiar, predictable, easy. But safe never changed anyone's life. Safe never built legends. If you want to evolve, if you want to become more than who you are today, you have to chase discomfort like it owes you everything. When you step into discomfort, you meet the raw, unfiltered version of yourself. That's where growth lives. In the chaos, in the uncertainty, in the moments you're not sure if you can make it. Discomfort strips away your ego, your excuses, your masks. It forces you to face yourself. And that's the most powerful confrontation you'll ever have. Because when you stop hiding from hard things, you start realizing you're capable of surviving them. Every challenge is proof that you're stronger than you thought. Every struggle adds another layer to your resilience. You stop fearing failure because you've already learned to rise from it. You stop seeking comfort because you've discovered something far greater. Confidence. Real, unshakable confidence. Born from walking through fire and coming out the other side. Growth never feels good while it's happening. It's uncomfortable. It's painful. It's messy. But that's what makes it real. The caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly without breaking its cocoon. Muscles don't grow without resistance. Diamonds aren't created without pressure. Every time life challenges you, it's not trying to destroy you. It's trying to refine you. That moment of discomfort is the gap between who you are and who you're becoming. Don't resist it. Don't run from it. Lean in. Learn from it. Let it teach you what comfort never could, that you are built to endure, built to adapt, built to evolve. Too often, people quit right before they transform. They feel the heat and assume it means they're failing. But discomfort isn't a signal to stop. It's a sign you're on the right path. It's your body, your mind, your soul expanding into new territory. Think about every time you started something new. Your first job, your first speech, your first heartbreak. You didn't know what you were doing. You stumbled. You doubted yourself. But you grew. You learned. You got stronger. That same process never ends. It just gets deeper, harder, more meaningful. So the next time you feel uncomfortable, smile. That's your evolution knocking. Chasing discomfort doesn't mean you have to live in chaos. It means you have to get comfortable with challenge. It's a mindset shift. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" start saying, "What is this teaching me?" Instead of avoiding pain, ask, "What if this pain is preparing me for something bigger?" Because it always is. The most successful people aren't fearless, they're courageous. They feel the same fear you do, but they move anyway. They don't wait for the perfect conditions, they create them. They don't pray for easy roads, they build stronger legs. They don't chase comfort, they chase growth. And that's what separates the average from the extraordinary. There's a quote that says, "Ships are safe in harbor." But that's not what ships are built for. You weren't built to anchor yourself in safety. You were built to sail into the unknown, to explore, to risk, to dream. And yes, storms will come. The waves will rise. You'll doubt yourself, you'll question everything. You'll want to turn back. But if you stay the course, you'll discover new worlds within and beyond yourself. Discomfort is the compass pointing you towards your next level. The more you run from it, the smaller your world becomes. The more you face it, the more powerful, expansive, and limitless you grow. So stop hiding from the hard things. Stop craving the easy way out. Every moment of discomfort is shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you for the greatness that's waiting. Let it burn. Let it build you. Because one day, you'll look back and realize the fire that once scared you became the very force that set you free. Everyone talks about goals, vision boards, checklists, 5-year plans. And yes, goals are important. They give direction, they give you a reason to move. But goals without grit are just wishes. The truth is, the world doesn't reward the one who starts strong. It rewards the one who stays when it gets hard. Grit is the quiet force behind every success story you've ever admired. It's not flashy. It's not easy. It's built in silence, through struggle, through long nights when nobody's clapping for you. It's built when your motivation fades, but you show up anyway. Because deep down, you know this. You don't get what you want, you get what you work for. And grit is the bridge between the two. Grit isn't about talent. It's not about luck or privilege. It's about what you do when things fall apart. When the plan doesn't go the way you imagine. When the door you've been knocking on doesn't open. Most people stop there. They take the setback as a sign to quit. But people with grit, they don't stop. They pivot. They adapt. They find another way in. Grit means refusing to let temporary defeat define your destiny. It's staring at failure and saying, "Not yet." It's the relentless belief that as long as you're still trying, you haven't lost. That mindset separates dreamers from doers. Because while others wait for the perfect moment, the gritty ones are out there, creating it. We live in a world obsessed with speed, instant results, instant gratification, instant success. But real success doesn't come instantly. It's slow. It's heavy. It's full of lessons you can't skip. Grit teaches you patience. It teaches you to endure, to understand that growth happens over time, not overnight. You'll face seasons when nothing seems to work, when it feels like the world is moving ahead without you. But those are the seasons that build your foundation. They teach you discipline, humility, focus. Grit isn't glamorous because it doesn't look like success while it's happening. But that's exactly when success is being born. Every moment you choose consistency over comfort, you're building something unbreakable inside you. And here's the thing. Grit doesn't mean you won't fall apart. It doesn't mean you'll never feel tired, doubtful, or scared. It just means you won't stay there. You'll feel it all. The frustration, the exhaustion, the uncertainty. But you'll keep moving. You'll find your strength in motion. That's what most people miss. Grit isn't about being fearless. It's about being brave. Enough to keep going. Even when fear is screaming in your ear. It's crying, then showing up. It's failing, then trying again. It's losing your balance, then learning how to dance with the storm instead of waiting for it to pass. Because the truth is, resilience doesn't come from comfort. It comes from the moments that should have broken you, but didn't. You see, grit has nothing to do with intensity and everything to do with consistency. Anyone can be motivated for a day. Anyone can work hard for a week. But grit is what carries you through the years. It's not about working harder. It's about staying longer. When others quit at mile 10, you keep running. When others lose hope, you keep building. Because you know that every repetition, every attempt, every ounce of effort is compounding into something bigger than you can see right now. Grit makes you unstoppable, not because it guarantees success, but because it guarantees progress. And progress, real raw, earned progress, is the most powerful force on earth. The people who achieve extraordinary things aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who refuse to stay down. They turn obstacles into fuel, rejection into redirection, pain into purpose. They understand that the climb is supposed to be hard. That's what makes the summit worth it. And when they finally get there, they don't just celebrate the view. They remember the climb. Because that's where their character was forged. That's where grit became greatness. So stop chasing easy wins. Stop waiting for motivation to find you. Build grit. Build endurance. Build the kind of strength that doesn't fade when life tests you. Because talent might open doors, but grit kicks them down and walks through. And once you master that, nothing and no one can stop you. Your circle determines your ceiling. The people you surround yourself with are not just a part of your environment. They are your environment. Their energy, their mindset, their habits. Those things seep into your life without you even realizing it. You start speaking like them, thinking like them, believing like them. That's why protecting your circle isn't optional. It's survival. Because you can't grow in spaces that are shrinking you. You can't soar while surrounded by people who are content crawling. The truth is simple. Your circle can either feed your vision or starve it. And if you're serious about success, you must choose wisely who you let close. We've all had people in our lives who drain us. Those who question every dream, criticize every move, and project their fears onto our ambitions. They mean well sometimes, but their words carry weight, and over time, they start to dull your fire. You begin second guessing yourself, thinking smaller, hesitating where you once acted boldly. That's not just emotional, it's energetic sabotage. You cannot become extraordinary while surrounded by mediocrity that demands your compliance. Protecting your circle means setting boundaries with people who love your potential but fear your evolution. Because when you start changing, not everyone will clap. Some will get uncomfortable. Some will fall silent. That's okay. Growth will cost you relationships, but the ones meant for you will rise to meet you at your new level. The right circle feels different. It's not about who has the most followers, money, or fame. It's about energy, alignment, truth. These are the people who challenge you, not compete with you. Who celebrate your success as if it's their own. Who remind you of your strength when you forget. They'll hold you accountable, not out of judgment, but out of belief. They see your vision even when you can't, and they'll push you toward it. When you surround yourself with people like that, you start vibrating higher. You start dreaming bigger. You start becoming unstoppable. Because you're no longer fueled by validation. You're fueled by purpose. And you've got a tribe that reflects that power back to you. But finding that kind of circle doesn't just happen. You have to earn it. You attract what you are, not what you wish for. If you want loyal, driven, inspired people in your life, be one. If you want people who show up for you, show up for them. Energy flows in both directions. Too many people want powerful circles, but bring weak energy to the table. You can't demand excellence while living in excuses. You can't expect loyalty while gossiping behind backs. The best way to build a circle of champions is to become one yourself. When your energy rises, when your standards rise, when your purpose gets louder, your tribe will find you. They'll recognize that fire because they've got it too. Still, protecting your circle isn't just about who's in, it's about who's out. Sometimes, you have to walk away from people you love, not because you hate them, but because you love yourself enough to grow. Loyalty is beautiful, but blind loyalty is dangerous. You can't keep watering relationships that only drain you. It's not betrayal to outgrow someone. It's evolution. The sooner you accept that, the freer you become. You start realizing that solitude isn't loneliness. It's space for alignment. And in that space, you'll begin attracting people who match your frequency instead of fighting against it. So look around your life. Who's in your circle? Who's clapping when you win? Who's cheering for you when you're not in the room? Who's challenging you to rise higher instead of keeping you comfortable? Those are your people. Hold them close. And for everyone else, bless them and let them go. Your circle is your mirror. It reflects who you are and where you're headed. Protect it like your future depends on it. Because it does. Surround yourself with energy that elevates, not drains. Choose friends who remind you of your strength. not your limits. Build a circle that challenges, supports, and inspires you. Because when you protect your circle, you protect your peace, your power, and your purpose. And that, right there, is the secret to lasting success. Your success can change you. But the real question is, how will it change you? For some, success becomes a mirror of ego. For others, it becomes a mirror of gratitude. The truth is, success has a way of testing your character, even more than failure does. When you're struggling, humility comes naturally. You're grounded, hungry, focused. But when you start winning, when the recognition comes, when the money grows, when the world starts to notice, that's when you face the real test. Will you stay driven, or will you get comfortable? Will you remember why you started, or will you start believing your own hype? Because success is not the finish line. It's the beginning of a new level, and every new level demands a stronger version of you. The danger of success is that it whispers lies. It tells you you've made it, that you've earned the right to slow down, that the climb is over. But that's where most people fall. They mistake achievement for arrival. They stop learning, stop evolving, stop grinding with the same hunger that once fueled them. And soon, the fire that built them starts to fade. Success without growth becomes stagnation. You can't let that happen. The most powerful people in the world are the ones who treat every win as a lesson, not a destination. They understand that success isn't permanent. It's rented. And the rent is due every single day. The key is to remember that success should never soften you. It should sharpen you. Every milestone, every breakthrough, every moment of triumph should remind you of how far you've come and how much more you can still become. Because the goal isn't to collect trophies. It's to expand your capacity. When you stay humble in your wins, you leave room to keep learning. You leave space for curiosity, innovation, and new perspectives. The second you think you know it all, you stop growing. But when you stay grounded, when you celebrate your progress while still honoring the process, you build a foundation that can't be shaken by fame, fortune, or failure. True success is not about how high you climb. It's about how many people you lift along the way. It's easy to chase success for yourself. But greatness is when your success creates room for others to rise too. When your achievements inspire, empower, and open doors. The most fulfilled people aren't the ones who hoard their wins. They're the ones who share them. They mentor. They guide. They give back. They understand that real power doesn't come from standing above others. It comes from standing with them. When you let your success serve others, it multiplies. It stops being about personal glory and starts being about purpose. But to stay grounded in success, you have to keep perspective. Remember the nights you prayed for what you now have. Remember the rejection, the heartbreak, the late hours, the moments when you almost gave up. That journey is sacred. It's what keeps your heart steady when the applause grows loud. Gratitude is your anchor. It keeps you real. Because the moment you forget where you came from, you lose the depth that made your victory meaningful. Gratitude reminds you that none of this was guaranteed, that every opportunity, every blessing, Every win was earned through persistence and grace. Success without gratitude is hollow. It looks good on the outside, but feels empty within. And maybe the most important truth of all, success isn't about the world recognizing you. It's about you recognizing yourself. When you've done the work, when you've pushed through fear, failure, and fatigue, you don't need external validation. You know your worth because you've seen what you've survived. You understand that success is not defined by applause or titles, but by the peace you feel when you look in the mirror and know you gave it everything. You stayed true. You didn't let success corrupt the purity of your purpose. So when success comes, and it will, stay hungry, stay humble, remember your roots, protect your integrity, and keep your heart wide open. Let your success be proof of your resilience, not your arrogance. Because the goal isn't just to make it, it's to stay there with grace, gratitude, and greatness. That's the kind of success that doesn't just impress, it inspires. Here's the truth most people spend their whole lives avoiding. No one is coming to save you. No mentor, no miracle, no perfect moment. Just you, your drive, your decisions, your discipline. That's it. And while that may sound harsh, it's also incredibly liberating. Because the moment you stop waiting for someone else to change your life, you take your power back. You stop blaming circumstances, stop making excuses, and start taking ownership. You realize that you are the architect of your own story, the author, the builder, the fighter. Every chapter, every failure, every triumph belongs to you. The sooner you embrace that truth, the faster your life begins to shift. Responsibility isn't a burden, it's freedom. It's the first step toward becoming unstoppable. When you take full responsibility for your life, everything changes. You start thinking differently. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can I do about it?" That question alone transforms everything. Because while most people are stuck waiting for luck, opportunity, or validation, you're out there creating it. You stop looking at others as competition and start seeing them as inspiration. You realize there's enough room at the top for everyone who's willing to climb. Taking responsibility means no longer outsourcing your happiness, no longer blaming your past, no longer living as a victim of your own potential. It's realizing that your future is a reflection of your habits, not your hopes. The path won't be easy. It never is. You'll have days where nothing works. Days where everything feels too heavy, too hard, too far away. But those are the days that define you. That's where resilience is born. You see, most people quit not because they can't win, but because they can't wait. They want results without repetition, growth without grind. But life doesn't work that way. You can't demand greatness while avoiding the growing pains that create it. Every delay, every obstacle, every not yet is shaping you, sharpening you, preparing you for something bigger. The pain you feel today is the price you pay for the power you'll hold tomorrow. Belief is your greatest weapon. Not blind belief, bold belief. The kind that lives in your bones when logic says it's over. The kind that keeps you fighting when the world counts you out. Because success doesn't belong to the most talented. It belongs to the most convinced. You have to believe so deeply in your vision that doubt becomes irrelevant. Even when it's dark, even when no one understands, even when it looks impossible, the moment you believe you can, you activate something inside you that the world can touch. That's not motivation. It's conviction. It's the unshakable certainty that no matter what stands in your way, you will find a way through. But belief without action is just daydreaming. You can't manifest a masterpiece if you never pick up the brush. Action is where belief comes to life. Every small step, every consistent choice, every uncomfortable decision, it all adds up. You don't have to take giant leaps every day. You just have to move forward. Even if it's 1 inch, 1 breath, one small act of courage at a time. That's how momentum builds. That's how transformation happens. The world doesn't reward intention. It rewards execution. So stop waiting for the perfect plan and start trusting your ability to adjust along the way. Progress doesn't come from knowing. It comes from doing. And finally, remember this: you are not behind. You are not too late. You are not unworthy. You are exactly where you're supposed to be, learning exactly what you need to learn to become the person capable of holding what you've asked for.